Hey guys, Anna here. So I'm gonna take Jackson Dakota for a ride around the neighborhood. I'm not taking Lady because she's more retired and I'm not showing her that much, so she doesn't really have to go out. I mean, especially just for a walk. I'm gonna stop by this field next to my park to see if it's dry enough so we can maybe do some cotton canter. I hope that's dry because I really miss riding my boys. They've been in the stall for like a week now. So Jax is going to a cross-country schooling this weekend with Caddy I Camp at Texas Rose, and we are planning on doing a lot of the novice course and some easier training jumps, so that'll be really fun and I'm excited about that.
What are you doing? Huh? Oh, gosh, you're so high. Oh no, Jax, he's coming. Oh no! Run away! Hi, Coders. Hi, buddy.
So fun fact about my horses, Dakota and Jackson, everybody get different treats based on how well they did. So I have a bunch of different treats, and based on how good they are, I give them different types of treats so they know to either try harder or that's what I want them to do. So, fun fact. Comment down below if you want to see a barn tour or some kind of like cool property tour or something like that. So I keep my horses at my own house. I have a 3-stall barn and like 3 pastures and 1 paddock around the barn. When I keep the horses out in a pasture away from the barn, I always keep their halters at the gate because I think that's just safer. Fun fact about Dakota, he was a rescue when I got him. He was about 200 pounds underweight, and he was mentally and physically kind of abused. Come on. I had to rehab him for about 2 years. He was terrified of humans. He wouldn't let you catch him. He wouldn't let you put a halter on him. He also wouldn't let you hug him or touch his face or anything. He was just completely terrified of his whole life and humans and everything. So Dakota and I are headed on our walk. We are going to go by the park and see if it's dry enough. And there's Jackson Lady. So yeah, this should be fun. So the park is dry. This is where I do my gallop sets, and that is the field next to the park. So we're gonna see if this is dry. Looks pretty dry. So then what I do is I'm gonna check for holes, and then we're gonna go and play around. Dakota was really good on our ride today. He did not spook at any of the big moving trucks that were coming by. And the park was luckily dry enough, so we were able to do some trot and canter work, and I'm very proud of how he was, especially for not being ridden in a week. He was super good, and I'm really proud. So, quick fun fact about Jax. He has 1 busted eye on this side. He came that way. The owner who had him said he was running around really crazy in the pasture one day, and he wouldn't stop, so they tried to throw the lead rope out in front of him to get him to stop, and just an unlucky throw, and it accidentally popped his eye because this end right here accidentally hit him in the eye and it just popped it. But it doesn't affect Jax at all. The reason why we still have it in there is because the vet said that they think he can still see like shapes and shadows with it. So we decided it'd be more natural for him to keep it, especially because it's not bothering him at all. And it doesn't affect him at all. Just in jumping, sometimes he like cocks his head so he can see the jump. But he can see a distance to a jump just fine. And it makes him a little bit more spooky, but he really just trusts me a lot, so it's not really a problem. And he's actually a really careful jumper, and so I think that might be a part of it. But that's just a fun fact about Jax. So I'm on Jax right now, and we're gonna go for a walk. I've already ridden Dakota, and the park was dry. The field next to it is a little bit wet. Not enough to really make footprints, but I'm not gonna ride in it because there's like tiny itty bitty indentations that didn't come from me. So we're gonna go and work in the park, and this should be fun. Pretty good. He was a little bit spooky because it was his first time really working at the park. So I really focused on getting him, I used it as an advantage to try and get him better under stressful conditions and get him to listen to me better while he's scared or the condition is not ideal for him. He did pretty good. He is a little bit more spooky than normal horses, especially because of his eye. And I was actually pretty surprised with how he did. And usually whenever we go on a walk around the neighborhood, he trots all the way back home. And today he didn't really trot that much on the way home. He kind of just jigged a little bit. And so that was an improvement. So he was overall really good, and I'm pretty happy.